The Cooperative Development Authority presents a town hall meeting focused on cooperative growth and development, sustainability and resiliency. 2022 Cooperatives and Governance.
Good morning. Maayong buntag sa inyong tanan mga kooperatiba. Welcome to Cooperatives and Governance, a CDA Townhall Meeting. My name is Catayoc, your host for today. Before we open this meeting, allow me first to welcome our CDA Board of Directors, as well as our CDA family from all over the country. To welcome us to this event, let us hear from the chairman of the CDA, our very own, Yusek Joseph Joy and Cabo.
To the honorable CDA officials and hardworking personnel, to our esteemed guest and resource person, to the cooperative leaders, cooperative development councils, and to our partners in the movement, maayong buntag kaninyong tanan. We are witnessing one of the many firsts in the cooperative movement. It is such an honor and privilege to welcome you all on the first day of our Cooperatives and Governance, a virtual town hall meeting of the Cooperative Development Authority with the cooperative sector. This initiative is the product of series of consultations with the cooperatives and stakeholders. The CDA, as a listening institution, heard the calls of the sector for an opportunity to thoroughly know the people aspiring for national office. Recognizing the magnitude of this activity, we have made our intentions clear. First, to present objective, impartial interviews of our candidates aiming for national post. Secondly, to provide the audience, especially the members of the cooperative sector, with balanced and fair information of the candidates' plans and platform for the cooperative sector. This activity is not designed to promote and support the election or defeat of a particular candidate or candidates in public office. We believe it is part of the democratic process for the cooperatives to have in-depth knowledge of the agenda of people running for this election. We, the Cooperative Development Authority, renew our assurances to every cooperative to be a proactive institution and to serve the best interests of the movement. Again, I wish to express my deepest appreciation to all of you for your participation and support and for making this event possible. To have this town hall initiative is pivotal and reputable juncture for the CDA and for the entire cooperative movement. Let me express again that we are here to support the requests and the voice of the cooperative sector. May we all have productive series of meetings and great outcomes that will lead our sector to the hallmark of success and governance. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po ang ating kooperatiba.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few weeks ago, we conducted a survey asking you, our cooperatives, which candidates for national positions who are running for national positions you would want to listen to. You were also asked to submit a question that you want to ask from them as well? Well, the choices have been made and the questions have been carefully selected. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce our moderator for today's town hall meeting. From CDA Region 1 and broadcasting all the way from Dagupan City, Ms. Fiona Bianca Cuenca. Good morning, Fiona.
Hello, Third. Hello, everyone from Dagupan.
In the spirit of order and to be able to maximize the time that our speakers have shared with us, this will purely be a listening town hall session. Since questions are given ahead of time, chat and unmute options are disabled in this Zoom meeting. This is also to eliminate distractions. Hopefully, your questions will give us a better picture on how our speakers understand the cooperative movement and how they can possibly contribute to the development of our sector. And now, to introduce our guest speaker, let me give the floor to our moderator, Fiona.
Good morning. As a reminder to our guest speaker, we would like to inform you to take as much time as you can in answering the questions. But the length of your response will be a deciding factor on how many questions you will be able to respond to this morning. So, we would like to encourage you to share your views as briefly as possible so we are able to ask you more questions. I wish we were in an actual stadium for this event, but nevertheless, we are still excited about it, right? Okay, let's get this meeting going. Let me introduce our guest speaker for today. My dear cooperative family, let us give a warm cooperative welcome to former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Good morning, Sir Bongbong. Hello, sir.
Magandang
Kamusta
umaga
po?
sa inyo. Good morning sa lahat ng na kasama natin sa cooperative movement. And good morning to all of those who are joining us today.
Let me ask you your first question, sir. The history of the cooperative movement began in the agricultural sector. The Philippines is considered an agricultural country, and we have so many cooperatives in the said sector. How do you think the government can further strengthen and support the agricultural cooperatives? Sir?
Well, I think the CDA has a very important role to play. Quite simply because you are the body that has been mandated to monitor and to regulate and to assist our cooperative, the development of the cooperatives around the country. And I think we in the present context, what we must do is to strengthen the capabilities of the CDA. And that means because ang daming kooperatiba, kagaya nga ng nasabi ninyo, there are many cooperatives around the country, and the CDA must have greater capabilities in monitoring and again assisting those cooperatives who have questions or need technical assistance, and as well as monitoring and to see that the cooperatives that have been established are well run and are following all the regulations that they must follow, but at the same time to encourage further the movement of cooperativism. So we need to strengthen the capabilities, at least even at the very least, because there are many people in the CDA who are very committed to the cooperative movement. And I think that that's not the problem. But what we need to do is to strengthen the shall we say, the monitoring capabilities. Hindi lang not the offices are not only here in Manila, but also to the different regions, the different provinces, for the simple reason that to make it easier for our cooperatives to conduct business with the CDA. The cooperatives have to be especially agricultural cooperatives, because the cooperative movement started really in the agri, and I think that that still at this point the majority of cooperatives that we have in the country are agriculturally based. And so that makes it a very specific, that makes for very specific needs by the cooperatives, by the agricultural cooperatives. And what is that? And once again, is the support. For example, pagka may bagong kooperatiba na gusto may patayo, tutulungan ng CDA. And in that way, they can give some kind of technical assistance. In our experience, the technical assistance that's required is not, for example, sa agri, it's not how to plant crops, how to fish, or how to raise livestock, but it's really how to plan the cooperative's future, how to account for the cooperative's finances, how to put a business plan, how to deal with the banks, and how to manage the cooperative. And that I think is the most important technical assistance that we can provide, that the CDA can provide. And that I believe should be the focus of the CDA's work in the agricultural cooperatives. So all of this assistance, because we have seen that if you look at the number of registered cooperatives and you go down the list and you ask ilan dyan ang functioning cooperatives na tuloy pa rin ang kanilang ginagawa, maganda ang patakbo, na kumikita, you will see the very big difference between the registered cooperatives and those cooperatives that can be seen and can be deemed to be functioning properly, and that have been provided by the CDA and the local governments the assistance that they need. So I think if we are going to strengthen the cooperative movement, especially in the agricultural sector, then I believe that should be the focus, is the continuing support that we can give our cooperatives. The agricultural cooperative, you do not. I've always been of the mind, you do not need to teach a farmer how to farm, but you must teach the agricultural cooperative how to do a business plan, how to get a credit rating, and how to run properly the cooperative, so that the accounting is correct, so that it is transparent, so that the members can see what is being done by the management.
Thank you, sir. For your next question, sir, the primary objective of every cooperative is to help improve the quality of life of its members. Healthcare and housing are vital in achieving this objective. Is the government capable of assisting cooperative members with their healthcare needs and housing? How, sir?
Well, the healthcare needs and housing are not a specific service just for the cooperatives. That is something that the government should be doing anyway. Now, the cooperative can strengthen its position when it comes to healthcare requirements and housing requirements by being well organized and bringing up to the government the necessities and the needs of our cooperative movement. And very central to that is healthcare and housing. Central to that is because we now have seen in the pandemic the weaknesses in our healthcare system that we really have to strengthen. Now, in terms of the cooperative movement, healthcare can be provided by the cooperative also by being able to provide the insurance. If the cooperative has money and the cooperative members decide that that is what they would like to do, then they might be able to provide some insurance for their members. When it comes to housing, the same thing, that there will be a scheme that can be run by the cooperative specifically for cooperative members. And that will be, again, that will give them a bigger voice. And that is what I've always believed about cooperatives. And the cooperatives are able to give, because if you're an individual, you have a very small voice and you're only one person speaking. But if you are a corporate, if you're organized into a cooperative, then that voice becomes much, much louder. And makes for a more effective way of gaining benefits for the members of the cooperative. These are the areas where I believe we should provide, because it's very clear that we have to provide decent housing for all our people as much as possible, together with the financing that comes with it. And so we have a housing program. We have fallen behind, unfortunately, in the Philippines now. And we are now about beyond 5 million in terms of needs of housing for our people. So the cooperative can move as an organization rather than just as an individual, can move as an organization and make their case as to why the cooperative's members should be given healthcare benefits, and not only for ordinary citizens of the country, but especially for the cooperatives. And I think that the cooperatives will be able to, because they approach the healthcare, the request for the healthcare system as a body, as an organized cooperative, then their case will be much better made. When it comes to again that healthcare, maybe they can provide insurance. This is something that we have experienced before, not in terms of healthcare, but in another sector, and that was in scholarships. And some of the teachers' cooperatives that we organized in Ilocos Norte when I was still congressman, some of those are providing that kind of service to their members. Perhaps we will include, beyond scholarships for the children of the cooperative members, we will also provide a healthcare plan that the cooperative can give. Now, the government of course, has to play its part by improving the healthcare system and be able to accommodate all of these requests coming from the cooperative. The same thing with the housing. Housing is already a service that we expect the government to provide. And so between healthcare and housing, the strong voice of the cooperative, speaking as one, representing many, speaking as one, will provide, again, the cooperatives a very strong voice when they go to government and even to the private sector to provide better housing, better healthcare. And that I think is the strength of the cooperative movement, because it gives voice to individuals. It gives the individuals a voice in the discussion, in their dealings with government, with the private sector. And I believe that's the most important aspect of the cooperative movement.
For your next question, sir, the Public Transportation Modernization Program is a laudable government program. However, the process of availing financing for new vehicles for transport cooperatives has been very challenging. Not to mention the need to coordinate with so many government agencies in the transport sector to be able to operate under the program. How do you propose to solve these challenges, sir?
Well, the transport system in our country has been hit very hard by the pandemic, and that is where the situation that we have now. Lahat ng mga pumapasada ay hindi dahil nag-lockdown ay walang trabaho at wala silang kinikita. And so I think for the transport cooperatives who are very powerful, who are actually very well organized, the government has to give particular assistance to them, because they have become a vulnerable sector of our economy. And that's why the government has already initiated a program where merong special concession para sa ating mga transport workers. hanggang I think now it's for those who are involved with buses, those who are involved with jeepneys. Ang hindi lang inabutan ay yung mga tricycle drivers. So maybe we can extend that assistance that the government is giving, so that all people, all of those who are we can call them transport workers, can again, with the representation of their cooperative, can extend that assistance all the way to all transport to all transport workers, including the tricycle drivers who have not been able to work for a very long time. So these are the kinds of elements that I think we will be able to initiate in the future, so that the assistance that we're giving, but is sufficient and is extensive. But this is because we have a special case now, because we are in the middle of a pandemic, kaya naman ganyan. Pero siguro pagka nawala na yung pandemya, siguro ang mga dapat natin gawin ay gumawa na tayo ng programa para sa ating mga transport workers, dahil napakalaking bagay nito sa ating ekonomiya. It is such an important part of the economy. So I believe that that's what we will have to look at, that's what we will have to do. And I'm sure that once the pandemic is over, then I think that we are going to put together a program for the transport cooperatives who have been hit very hard and who are a crucial part of our economy, to make sure that they are functioning well, and that those who are working in the transport sector are properly recognized and properly given the assistance that they might need, not necessarily financial, but in terms maybe of legislation, in terms of policy. These are the things that the cooperative can bring to government that a single individual will not be able to do.
Thank you, sir. For your next question, majority of Filipinos are not fully aware of how cooperatives work and its benefits to the community and the economy. Do you think that mandating its inclusion in the educational system will help? What do you think are the strategies to adopt to ensure its implementation or fruition, sir?
Well, that has been a proposal for a long time so that people understand what in fact a cooperative is. It was a great surprise to me when I first became congressman of Ilocos Norte, that when I proposed the cooperatives, at that time we did the cooperatives for teachers. When I floated the idea, some of our advisors would say, no, walang kwenta yung cooperative, walang naitutulong yan. Dahil it was used as a political tool, where, let us say, an executive, mayor, or governor, or congressman, sabi, nakahanap ako ng pera, pero para sa cooperative. Kaya't magbuo kayo ng cooperative para maibigay ko sa inyo. So ganun, pero naging handout. Kasi after a year and a half, sasabihin ng cooperative, sir, naubusan na kami ng pera, can we have some more? Which is absolutely, completely contrary to the idea of cooperatives, because cooperatives should take on a life of its own. And that way it can support itself and even flourish as it conducts its business, as it decides the policies that their particular cooperative will undertake. I think the idea of pooling resources that is behind, and that the foundation of the cooperative movement, or the organization of cooperatives, is something that is understood by our people. But what the particular formal systems are that we have to that we use, so that the cooperative movement continues, so that we are able to monitor, regulate, and encourage and assist the cooperative movement, are not clear to ordinary people. But I think that is also a job for the CDA. because the CDA can if there is an idea of what a cooperative is, or there's an idea that a cooperative be formed, then they can be made to understand what needs to be done, what are the documentations that need to be done, whether whether they're vatable or non-vatable, or what status they are in. Are they, what kind of cooperative they want to be? Do they want to be a savings and loan cooperative, an agricultural cooperative, a housing cooperative? The cooperative movement is applicable in almost any walk of life. And so the concept and the general policy, the general concept of pooling resources as a cooperative, I think is clear to people. How to do it is not. And that is the way. That is, I think, a specific function that the CDA can perform in teaching those who are interested to organize a cooperative, those who are hoping to improve their cooperatives, to show those cooperatives that these are the elements that you must attend to, and these are the elements that you have to look at. So I think that is a very important part of the work of the cooperative movement.
Thank you, sir. For your next question, with what you know about cooperatives as a whole and the present governance structure that surrounds it, would you change anything? How would you try to improve its contribution to society and the economy, sir?
Well, to improve the contribution of cooperatives is simply to continue to encourage our cooperatives, to encourage our people to form cooperatives, and because of their work as cooperatives, they support and they assist their members, and that is the contribution that they bring to society and to the economy. So, if all cooperatives are better run, and if all the cooperatives are better run, then I think that we can that we can see that there will be a definite improvement in the people's lives, especially from the members of the cooperative, the members of the cooperative movement. What would I change? I would strengthen the CDA. I would make it more capable and more widespread, so it is more available to service the needs of cooperatives around the country. The cooperatives, if they are well run, will be a great contributor to the economy and to society in general, because this pooling of resources is very much in line with a quest for unity that we are talking about everywhere, because pinagsasama-sama nga natin ang iba't ibang sektor, pinagkakaisa natin ang ating mga membro, at sa ganung paraan, dahil dumami ang mga membro at magandang patakbo, ay mas magiging maganda, mas magiging matibay, mas maginawa ang buhay ng mga membro. Yan ang magiging contribution. Pero ang kailangan, may backup sila, meron silang sumusuporta na CDA, na kahit pagka sila ay nakakaproblema o nais nilang palitan ang kanilang kooperatiba o nais nilang magtanong, then the CDA is there to help our cooperatives with that. And I think, again, the capabilities and the CDA to perform its functions must be given all the support by government that we are able to give.
Thank you, sir. For your next question, how do you think we should globally promote cooperative products, especially products from our micro, small, and medium cooperatives, sir?
Well, these are domestic productions. These are especially the MSMEs are really not for export. They are not export. They are not import substitution. The products that they are manufacturing or that they are involved in are really not import substitution products. So they're not for export. Generally speaking, ang cooperative is mostly attendant to is mostly attending to domestic demand for different essentials, different products such as agriculture, such as in housing, such as in savings and loan, which some of the cooperatives are. Hindi ito pang export. So siguro kung lumaki na ang co-op at gustong pumasok sa mga exportable products, then they will have to compete. Pero matutulungan ulit natin yan pag nandyan matibay ang CDA. Ang CDA talaga, pabalik-balik ako sa CDA dahil talagang malaki ang kailangan, malaki ang magiging role ng CDA pagka maging masigasig na at maging masigla na ang ating cooperative movement. So that it always comes back to that. But in terms of exportable products, generally speaking, because as I said, co-ops are in agriculture and are in assistance to particular sectors of society, that right now, I do not know of cooperatives that are concerned or that are going into exportable products. Maybe we should, maybe that will come in time if the cooperative has been allowed to grow and are able to continue the movement even as they grow larger and larger and able to take on the international market. Kailangan patibayin muna ang kooperatiba dahil magko-compete na sila sa international trade. Kaya kailangan palakihin, patibayin, pagandahin ng patakbo. Pag umabot tayo sa ganung status, ganung scale, ay makikita natin ay kaya na nilang makisabak at sa export na produkto na pwede nating ipagbili sa ibang bansa.
And for your last question, sir, what does the word cooperative mean to you?
I always say that ang ginagawa, ang advantage ng kooperatiba ay binibigyan ng boses ang bawat isang individual na mamamayan. Na isang mamamayan na nag-iisa, kapag halimbawa, gamitin natin ang halimbawa, let us use the example of farmers. If a farmer has needs, let us say they want to mechanize, they want to have post-harvest facilities, they want to export their products. A single farmer cannot do it. And the only way that I see that, especially for a farmer, is to be part of a cooperative and pool resources and allow that cooperative to grow. And then that cooperative will magnify the voice of each individual member. And for me, that's what a cooperative means. Is that kaya nga nagsasama-sama, nagsasanib puwersa silang lahat ng kanilang kakayahan, lahat ng kanilang lupa, lahat ng kanilang kaalaman ay pinagsasama-sama natin. So we in my view, the cooperative, what cooperative means to me is exactly what the words. We cooperate together, we pool our resources, and thereby we start to enjoy economies of scale. We start to increase the magnitude of the economic activity within the cooperative, and that for me is a very, very valuable movement to support. That is why I have been a great champion, I hope, for cooperatives since the time that I was vice chairman of the Committee on Cooperatives in the Senate, and in the time that I was governor, especially. Marami kaming binuo na kooperatiba. Napag-usapan natin yung mga teacher kasi nga laging huli yung kanilang sweldo. So nagtayo kami ng mga kooperatiba para meron silang konting savings and loan at hindi malubog sa utang ang mga teacher natin dahil napipilitan sila mag 5-6. Ngayon sa agrikultura naman, ang aming ginawa dahil we wanted to pursue an agricultural program, And as I said, hindi ko bilang governor, hindi ko naman makausap na isa-isa ang ating mga farmers. Kaya ang sinabi ko, magbuo tayo ng mga matitibay na kooperatiba na merong farmer leaders na pagka nag-decide ang miyembro ng cooperative na tayo makikilahok dyan sa agricultural program na yan, ay susunod lahat. Dahil marunong ang magpatakbo yung mga farmer leaders, yung mga namumuno ng mga kooperatiba, and that way we were able to implement the agricultural program. So these are concrete examples of how we are able to pool resources so that to give more influence, more power, a larger voice, a louder voice for each individual through the cooperative. That, for me, is what the cooperative means when I hear the word, the movement of cooperativism.
Thank you so much, sir. And now, back to you, sir.
Thank you, Fiona. Once again, thank you to our guest speaker, Mr. Bongbong Marcos. We hope that you have enjoyed this informative session with us.
I certainly have.
since-
Thank you very much. I always enjoy to be talking about the cooperative movement, as I think it is a very vital and important part for protecting our small businessmen, small farmers that really, as I say, need representation and need to pool resources so as to succeed. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak at this town hall meeting. Thank you to USEC Joseph Egcabo, all the regional offices, and of course to Fiona, our moderator. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga po.
It's our pleasure to have you, sir. Now, since we still have time, may we request USEC and Cabo to close this town hall meeting.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Unang-una, I'd like to thank the former Senator Bongbong Marcos Jr. for gracing this opportunity, and would like also to thank your team for allowing us to make yourself available in this exercise. And we are so glad that we were able to hear from you what are your views, your perceptions, and your take about the cooperativism in our country and your support to the cooperative sector. Muli po, please accept our heartfelt thanks to you, former Senator Bongbong Marcos, and we wish you all the best in your journey. Dagang salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To our cooperative and CDA family, we pray that all of you stay safe. Please tune in to CDA Philippines or this Zoom link for tomorrow's session of Cooperatives and Governance. Mabuhay ang kooperatiba. Daghang salamat ug maayong buntag kaninyong tanan.
Cooperatives and Governance.